lake trout on it today, but it's not a very big fish, but it's a fish. There's our first lake trout. Splash. Off you go. Well, we've got little lake trout number 2 on. It's not very big. I think it's going to go in the live well for lunch. Got some pretty slim pickles. Not doing the best, are we, Ruven, yet? Oh my goodness, that's a small lake trout. Oh, buddy. We're going to let this little guy go. It's going to be a quick catch and release. Look at how tiny this is. Off he goes. This is awesome! Ruven's first lake trout in Ontario. Woo! This is so good, Ruven. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy for you, buddy. We'll make sure we take some pictures and send them to your mom and dad. Good fish, Ruven. Oh, good lake trout, buddy. That's awesome. Woohoo! Okay, put him down. Let's take the hook out. Give me some slack. There you go. There you go, buddy. There's your fish. You hold him up for the camera. That's his swim bladder opening up. Move this. That is fantastic, Ruven. That is just awesome. We're going to have him for lunch. Way to go, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay, let's put him in. Right there.
Looks like he swallowed the fish.
Yep, he did. Isn't that awesome?
That is.
Way to go. Should we try and catch another one?
Yeah.
Well, Ruven, have you had a good morning?
I had a good morning. Perfect.
Awesome. We've got 3 lake trout this morning. We've kept 1 for a shore lunch. So now we're going to pack it up and head up to another lake and pull up on the shore, have a shore lunch, have some potatoes, onions, a can of beans, and some fresh fried lake trout. Sounds like a treat, doesn't it?
It is.
Maybe a cup of coffee afterwards, some cookies, maybe even a nap actually for this old guy. And then off we go for some more fishing. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Alrighty, we'll see you in a bit. Coming up the creek to another one of the lakes. Oh, it's so beautiful. Up ahead, the green area where all the grass is, was actually originally a farm. And in the latest local history book that was compiled, it talks about an Englishman actually farming there, and I believe into the late 30s. Can you imagine how remote this was? And the farmland here is really poor. It's just sand. So all these poor homesteaders worked all the work to cut the trees down, clear the land, build a home, and after a few years they'd used up the nutrient value in the soil. They packed up and moved on to greener pastures. I can't imagine their frustration and what a feeling that would be for how hard they worked. This is a beaver feed bed from a couple years ago. here we are coming out into the next lake. And another stellar view. Well, Ruven, what are we having for lunch, buddy?
We're having potatoes, beans, onions, fish, and coffee.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look at the amount of potatoes and fish. That's a mountain of potatoes with a mountain of lake trout underneath it. Ruven and I are going to consume all that and then feel like beached whales, I'm sure. Here goes a boat out in the lake. And this is our little piece of heaven. Here's Ruven looking after the beans. And the campfires looked after the black flies. It's a lot better now. There was the odd black fly around a little earlier. What do you think, Ruven?
It's awesome.
What a feast. This is so good. Look at that, 57 years old and I'm going to eat enough cholesterol there for 10 men. And love it, every bit of it. Oh, our fish is so good. Oh. Look at the amount of food we've got here. Potatoes, onions, baked beans, and lake trout. It just doesn't get any better than that. And a coffee afterwards. This is so good. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for sending your son to Canada and allowing him to come fishing with me. This is so much fun, and I so appreciated your son. He's a fine young man. And I hope he comes back to Canada to visit us. And I hope one day he brings his bride to Canada to visit us as well. And you're welcome to come and visit us anytime. We would appreciate it very much. So after we have lunch and a coffee and we clean up, Ruven and I are going to walk up to a little pond and see if we can entice some speckled trout into taking our bait. This is so good.
Ich sage Grüße an meine Eltern, an meine Freunde und ja, checked out Canada.
Here we are at a beaver pond, and Ruven and his first experience of standing on a beaver dam and his first experience with black flies. What do you think, Ruven?
That's awesome. I never saw things like this.
An amazing feat of engineering, isn't it?
It is.
Well, we've arrived at our little pond, and it's just as beautiful as ever. Oh, isn't this gorgeous? So now all that remains is to throw our lines in and see if we can tempt some little trout. Still having fun, Ruven?
Yeah.
How's the fishing, Ruven?
It's perfect.
How are the black flies?
Not good.
And we haven't got a speckled trout yet. But hey, they're just around the corner, aren't they?
There's one that they
Perfect.
small, tiny.
So we'll spend a little more time trying to catch a speckled trout, and if nothing bites, we're going to head back to the lake and fish some more lake trout. And this is what men will go to or go through to try and catch little baby speckled trout. And we didn't catch one. But it was a beautiful hike. And here, after a bit of a walk into a pond that didn't have any fish in it, we came over to the local spring for some cold water. There you go, Ruven. Isn't that amazing? There's a spring just up the hill, and that pipe is tapped into it. And this is where we come for a drink of cold water when we're up here. What a beautiful spot. Back we come from the top lake, down through the creek. Is that your muskrat there again?
Oh yeah. Probably a beaver.
And there's Mr. Muskrat. He's probably saying, "What are you guys doing bothering me again?" See you, buddy. Have a good night. And there's another muskrat. Here we come out into the creek. This is one of my favorite parts of going up to these other lakes. It's a beautiful view. What a beautiful cottage in there.